Hey YouTube, so this is your girl Nikki, and I am coming. Sorry for the lighting. I'm trying to do this on my iPhone because I'm at work, but trying to do a video. Like I was watching one of the young ladies on here do a video about, her name is China, but her name is Bree nonetheless. Losing yourself, or have you ever been in a situation where you've lost yourself? And it's funny, I saw that video because one of my sisters, we just recently had a conversation, and she was asking me, like, she doesn't, or rather just stating she doesn't understand how I can do so much, or why I go out by myself, or, do things by myself. And honestly, like, my response to her was just like, for so long, when you're in relationships and you want the relationships to work, whether you're in relationships with the right person, I think at that moment, that person is the right person. That person is the right person for you, because they are put there at that moment in your life to teach you something. Now, whether you grasp that lesson during a relationship or whether you grasp it after the relationship, I don't feel like any relationship that we get into is not is a relationship that we shouldn't actually experience. Because God put people in our lives for all different reasons or whatever. Some are meant to be here, and some are meant just to come by for a quick moment and then leave. But yeah, I have been in relationships where I have actually lost, myself. Like, I woke up, trying to make sure everything that I did was to please to please whoever, the person that I was with at that moment, to where I stopped thinking about myself, and at times it's extremely hard when you do a relationship like that, and then you guys, no longer together. You actually feel like a piece of you is gone, and so now that I am doing the single thing, I am sorry, these phones just all the time going crazy. But yeah, now that I am exploring the whole single world, I am learning to love myself first. And I feel like I can't really be the person that I'm probably supposed to be for someone, or the woman that I'm supposed to be for someone, until I know exactly what it is I want. Or what it is that really makes, me tick. I think, we go through life and we have, all these different experiences and stuff like that, and we feel like we really, really know ourselves. But I feel like the older we get, the more we really get to know ourselves. And for a long time, I mean, whew, and I'm not that old, but still, it's like I feel old, and I think that probably because of just, the way I've grown up or whatever, I feel older than I really am. But nonetheless, for a long time, I've always felt like I needed to be in a relationship. I needed, that validation to say that I have somebody. I would be afraid to, like, if I go out, I needed an entourage, or I needed to be a part of the entourage and stuff like that. Whether I wanted to be around them or not, yeah, I always felt like I needed that. And so now I am happy just doing things by myself. Like, if I want to just take myself to a nice restaurant, instead of depending on someone else or waiting for some, I do it myself. if I'm not pressed or amped to, be in the clubs all the time or anything like that. I think the older I get, I am starting to take, or better, or rather yet, just look at other things in life outside of the entertainment part of it. Because there's so much in life that we take for granted and that we don't really appreciate, and then before we know it, we're old as dirt, and then we're like, oh, I wish I would have did this, oh, I wish I would have did that. I've always been the type that like to travel, so I try to make sure that I do get my travel in at least 3 to 4 times a year. I don't care even if it's weekend getaways or something like that, or if I take, 4 days here, something like that. I try to make sure that I do travel so that I get to see and experience different parts of the US of A. But yeah, when I was watching her video, whatever, I really could relate to, being in a relationship, and how she stated that, is not something that, she respected the relationship still. And when it comes to my ex, I still respect the relationship. I still respect, what we went through and all, but I did. I lost a part of me. And even after it was over, I felt like, I thought that I needed to throw myself back into something or whatever. But the hardest part was I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So that kind of forced me to revamp and relook at how I'm approaching, life or just relationships, period. And so this go around, I'm challenging myself to, get to know me, and figuring out what it is I want, you know what I mean? Or, learning myself before I try to get into something with somebody else. Thus far, it's been wow. And I think each day it gets better and better and better. And for people who feel like you can't do it, trust me. Yes, you can. And honestly, I often get a little nervous, like, oh my God, am I going to get too comfortable like this? Too comfortable in my own little space, in my own realm, not marching to nobody else's beat. I'm getting in tune with me. I am loving myself. And I think that whenever you're in a relationship and you break up, you need that space. You need that time to yourself. I don't feel like it's best to throw yourself. And I know a lot of people say, to get over something, you need to go ahead and replace them with somebody else. I think that that's the worst thing ever. Because you only bring baggage from that situation into something new. And then you're looking at the new person sideways or blaming them for something that they didn't even do. And honestly, that's not fair to them. If they're, and maybe you never know if they're coming to you doing the same thing. But honestly, I feel like you need to check yourself and stop worrying about other people. If you come into the situation correctly, give yourself that time to marinate, relax, figure yourself out. Then, if you go into the whole dating scene with a new set of eyes, being refreshed, and you've taken that time to just get to know yourself, love yourself, appreciate who you are, what you bring to, to a relationship, or which, certain things that you would bring. Once you get to appreciate those things without even being in one, I think you'll attract the right person or the right people. And another thing, it's okay to date. I don't understand what is so hard with just dating. I don't know if that's just, our makeup to where we feel like, if we like someone and they like us and we talk or whatever, that we, automatically become connected. No. It's okay to date. Okay, I'm going to go out on a date with you. I'm going to see how we interact, whether we mesh well. And then I'm going to go out on a date with someone else too. At the same damn time. I'm not saying be sexual. I'm saying dating, going out on dates. You don't need to lock yourself into one specific person. I think that's another big thing. We don't date. we just lock ourselves in, and I think that's a problem. But yeah, I'm not gonna rap too much, but yeah, just responding to her video that I get it, and I've been there, I am there, you know, and I'm enjoying this journey that I'm on. I know my Tana De Leon, like, she has that, you know, self-love journey and stuff like that. You know, I do love myself. So, you know, I also, you know, I take some pieces from that, and I think about, you know, where she came from and stuff like that. But we all have different walks through life. You know, there are always certain things that make us wake up and want to do things differently. I believe that this breakup, this last go round, you know, was end all be all for me. I'm embracing this new journey, and so far, so good. But yeah, till next time, toodles.